Hello students, in today's class we are going to discuss about some chemical reactions of haloalkenes, that is nucleophilic substitution reaction. Before understanding what is nucleophilic substitution reaction, we must know what is nucleophile. So to understand what is nucleophile, let me give an example. Let us consider a general chemical reactions, that is if in case reactant A is going to react with reactant B to form product. This is a general reaction, general chemical reaction, where A and B are two reactants which are going to react together to form product. When these two substances are going to react, these two substances is going to have a names like substrate and reagent. When two reactants react together, one of the reactant is going to be considered as substrate and another reactant can be considered as reagent. Now, what do you mean by this reagent? Reagent is nothing but a species which is going to attack on substrate. So when the reaction takes place, reagent is going to attack on the another reactant, that is substrate. The species which is going to attack, that will be considered as reagent. Okay. And what is substrate now? It is nothing but a species which is being attacked by what? Attacked by reagent. Understood the difference between substrate and reagent? Reagent will go and attack on substrate, and substrate is a substance which is being attacked by the reagent. So in this particular reactions of haloalkanes, nucleophilic substitution reaction, the substrate is going to be haloalkane. Okay, if the reaction takes place between haloalkane and another reactant, haloalkane will be considered as substrate. Understood? That means it is going to be attacked by some reagent. And now the interesting thing is, this reagent can be classified into two types. And the first type you can call it as nucleophile, and another type of reagent is electrophile. What is this nucleophile? Nucleo stands for nucleus, or in other words you can say it is referring positive charge species. Nucleo means positive charge species, and phile or philic means love. So nucleophile, the word itself is saying that it is going to show some love towards positive charge. So what are nucleophile? And one more thing, what do you mean by love towards positive charge? Love towards positive charge in the sense that particular species is going to get attracted towards positive charge. If the species is going to get attracted towards positive charge, then the species must be negatively charged. Correct? That means it must be electron rich species. So how you can define nucleophile? It is nothing but electron rich species which get attracted towards positive charge. So nucleophiles are nothing but the reagent. In that it is particularly electron rich species which will get attracted towards the positive charge. Only if in case electrons are going to be present in more number, that means electron rich species it is, then only it will get attracted towards positive charge. For example, you can consider OH minus. If you consider OH minus, this minus charge is indicating there is more number of electron present in this species. So definitely it will get attracted towards the positively charged species. So nucleophile can be generally represented by the symbol Nu, which is nucleophile, and the symbol of Nu is minus. So the nucleophile can be generally represented like this, Nu minus. For example, OH minus. This minus charge is saying it is an electron rich species and it is going to get attracted towards positive charge. Understood what is nucleophile? And for your reference, electrophile can be represented as E plus. Plus, we are writing E plus because it means electrophile is a electron deficient species which get attracted towards negative charge. Electrophile are nothing but the electron deficient species which will get attracted towards negative charge. That is why we are representing electrophile by the symbol E plus. That means the particular species is going to be positively charged, which is electron deficient, and it will get attracted towards the negatively charged species. I hope you guys understood the difference between nucleophile and electrophile. In this particular nucleophilic substitution reaction, we are going to study some reaction where a substrate is going to be haloalkane and the reagent is going to be nucleophile. And we understood the nature of nucleophile. It is highly electron rich species and it must get attracted towards the positive charge. Understood? Let me explain how to write nucleophilic substitution reaction generally. For the nucleophilic substitution reaction, the substrate is going to be alkyl halide, that means haloalkane, and it will react with nucleophile to form some product. To understand how the nucleophilic substitution reaction will take place, first we need to understand the bond exists between carbon and halogen in alkyl halide. Halogen in the sense it can be any of the halogen. Since halogens are highly electronegative, halogens are highly electronegative group. Since it is highly electronegative group, it is going to attract the electrons present in this bond. Correct? So both the electrons are going to get towards halogen. Since halogen pull the electron towards itself, the halogen is going to be rich in electron, so it will get partially negative charge. And the carbon will get partially positive charge. So in alkyl halide, carbon will be having partially positive charge and halogen will be having partially negative charge. With this idea, now let us write the reaction. We have a alkyl halide. Let me write alkyl halide. Carbon valency is 4. So it is going to have 4 bonds in which one of the bond is with halogen. Remaining 3 bonds, it can be with hydrogen or it can be with some other alkyl groups. And when this alkyl halide reacts with nucleophile, how do we represent nucleophile generally? We write Nu minus, general representation. So when the nucleophilic substitution reaction takes place, and we know that it is carbon is going to have delta positive charge and halogen will be having delta negative charge. This is substrate, no? Alkyl halide is substrate and this nucleophile is reagent. What is the role of reagent? It will attack on substrate. So now how it is going to attack on substrate? Our reagent is nucleophile. It is electron rich species. So it is going to attack on the carbon atom, since carbon atom has partially positive charge. When this attack of reagent takes place on the substrate, the bond between carbon and halogen is going to get break. This bond will get break. So when the nucleophile will attack, what we'll be having? We'll have carbon with 3 other bonds without change, and the bond between halogen and carbon got break. Nucleophile made bond with the carbon. So this bond now exists with nucleophile. And halogen atom went separately. So let us write that separately. X minus. Why I am writing minus here along with X? Because this halogen atom, the bond got break when halogen atom pulled the electrons towards itself. So now halogen atom has more number of electrons in it. That is why X minus. This is how the nucleophilic substitution reaction takes place. Why the name is nucleophile? Because the reaction initiated with the nucleophile. Nucleophile attacked on the alkyl halide, so the reaction will take place. That is why it is nucleophilic substitution reaction. Why substitution? Because nucleophile substituted the halogen atom present in alkyl halide. That is why it is nucleophilic substitution reaction. You can consider any of the nucleophile with any of the alloalkane to write the reaction like this. Understood? One more information is, in this alkyl halide, halogen atom is bonded with the carbon atom, which is sp3 hybridized. If the halogen atom is bonded with the carbon atom, which is sp3 hybridized, that kind of substrate will undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. That is why haloalkanes favors with nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophile, there is one more type of nucleophile, that is ambidentate nucleophile. Ambident in the sense, the nucleophile in the sense it is reagent, no? It is going to attack on substrate. This particular nucleophile is going to attack on substrate from both the side. Ambi means both. Attack will take place from both the side of nucleophile. For example, let me give an example so that you will clearly understand this. Cyanides are an example for ambidentate nucleophile. Cyanide is going to have 2 different structures. Now I have written resonance symbol. Cyanide can exist in this form or in this form. In the first form, you can see there is a triple bond between carbon and nitrogen, and carbon is going to have rich in electron. In between carbon and nitrogen, carbon is going to have negative charge. And in one more resonance form of cyanide, you can see the electrons are present with carbon in lone pair form, and there is a double bond between carbon and nitrogen. Nitrogen is going to have negative charge. Okay, so there is a chances in cyanide where either carbon may get negative charge or nitrogen may get negative charge. If in case carbon is having negative charge, then carbon is going to make bond with the carbon of alkyl halide. If in case nitrogen have negative charge, then nitrogen is going to make bond with the carbon of alkyl halide. For example, see here we have one alkyl halide. Alkyl halide in the sense carbon valence is 4. So carbon has 4 bonds, in which 1 bond is with halogen and remaining 3 bonds may be hydrogen or it might be some other alkyl group also. So it is substrate now. And we have taken CN cyanide, that is reagent, or you can also call it as nucleophile. We already know that halogen is going to get delta negative charge and carbon will get delta positive charge. Correct? This nucleophile will attack on the substrate. So what happens? The negative charge is with carbon. So this carbon will go and make bond with the carbon of alkyl halide. This bond will get break. So what we'll get in the product side? Carbon with 3 bonds unaffectedly. And this nucleophile made bond with carbon from the carbon side of reagent. So it is now carbon bonded with Cn. You can write C triple bond N also, or simply Cn. And there is another way with another structure of cyanide where nitrogen is going to have negative charge. In this case, halogen will have partial negative and carbon will have partial positive. This bond will get break. Since nitrogen has negative charge, this nitrogen will try to make bond with the carbon of alkyl halide. So in the products I have written carbon with 3 bonds unaffectedly, and another bond is with now NC. Why I have written NC here? Because the bond exists between these two reactant is C and N. Nitrogen made bond with the carbon atom. That is why it is NC. See guys, there is a difference between these two products. CN can be sorry. This particular compound can be called as alkyl cyanide. CN stands for cyanide group, and this product can be called as isocyanide, or you can say alkyl isocyanide. If the bond takes place between carbon and carbon, it is going to form alkyl cyanide. If the bond takes place between carbon and nitrogen, then it forms alkyl isocyanide. This alkyl cyanide can also be called as nitrile group. Okay, these two are same. Alkyl cyanide and nitrile groups are same. Understood guys why this cyanide is ambident? Ambident because from both the side of the cyanide group it can attack on the alkyl halide, or it can attack on the substrate. That is why it is acting as an ambident nucleophile. Understood? You can give nitrate as the another example of ambident nucleophile. Representation is NO2, where nitrogen is bonded with 2 of the oxygen atoms. If the linkage, that means bond formation, takes place between oxygen of nitrogen group and the carbon of alkyl halide group, then it will form alkyl nitrides. That means this R is nothing but alkyl group. That means the partially positive carbon atom in alloalkane that has been bonded with oxygen, and remaining is same NO2. Correct? So this kind of product is known as alkyl nitrides. When alkyl nitrides are going to form? When the bond formation takes place between oxygen and carbon of alloalkane. And in another way, even nitrogen can make bond with the carbon atom. If in case linkage takes place between nitrogen atom and the carbon atom of alloalkane, it leads to the formation of nitroalkanes. Nitroalkanes in the sense, the way we represent it in the form of RNO2. See, this R is nothing but carbon atom from alloalkane, and R is bonded with the nitrogen. Bond has been taken place from nitrogen side. So this kind of product is known as nitroalkanes. If the bond takes place from oxygen side, that will be alkyl nitrates. This is one of the example for ambident ligand or ambident nucleophile. Let me discuss one very important question for your board examination as well as for your NEET exam. Most of the question paper they have asked this question. The question is how haloalkane is going to react with KCN, that is potassium cyanide, and how this haloalkane is going to react with AgCN, that is silver cyanide. Why they ask this question? Because in both the cases the product of this reaction we are going to get will be different, in a different way, because we already came to know that cyanide is ambident nucleophile. Ambident nucleophile in the sense from both the side it can make bond with carbon of alkyl halide. Now let us see how this KCN is going to react with CH3X. KCN is mainly ionic in nature. Potassium cyanide is ionic in nature. So in the solution form, it is going to form the cyanide nucleophile. Okay. And since it is ionic in nature, it is going to form a product like CH3CN. Ionic in the sense in a solution form, cyanide is going to be formed, correct? So from the carbon is going to get negative charge. Since this carbon will get negative charge, it will make bond with the carbon atom of alkyl halide. So it will form CH3CN. There is a reason why it is going to form CH3CN, why not CH3NC? The reason is, the bond exists between this carbon and the carbon of cyanide is going to be more stable than the bond exists between carbon and the nitrogen. Okay. This is more stable than CN bond. CC bond is more stable than CN bond. That is why instead of forming CH3NC, it will form CH3CN because the carbon and carbon bond is going to be more stable. Understood? And now the next question is, how this CH3X will react with AgCN? AgCN is mainly covalent in nature. Okay? AgCN is covalent in nature. Since it is covalent, nitrogen will be free. Nitrogen will be free to donate electron pair. Okay. Since nitrogen will be free to donate electron pair, this nitrogen will make bond with the carbon atom of alkyl halide. That is why we get product like CH3NC. Okay. See, there is a difference. Don't write CH3CN. If you write CH3CN, that means carbon is going to make bond with CH3. But in AgCN, carbon will not make bond because AgCN is covalent in nature. That is why only nitrogen will be free to donate the electron. So nitrogen will go and attack on the carbon atom of alkyl halide. That is why in the product side we have written CH3NC. Okay. CH3NC is nothing but alkyl isocyanide. And this CH3CN is alkyl cyanide. Okay, these two cases are very important. So understand, KCN is ionic in nature, so it will form alkyl cyanide. And CC bond is more stable than CN bond. That is why it favors to form alkyl cyanide. But in AgCN is covalent in nature. That is why only nitrogen will be having more electron and it will be free to donate electron. That is why the bond is going to form between nitrogen and carbon. So it will form CH3NC, that is alkyl isocyanide. This is very important, guys. Remember it. Okay. I hope this class was helpful for you to understand nucleophilic substitution reaction generally. In the coming class, we are going to discuss about nucleophilic substitution reaction. That is for particularly SN1 reaction and mechanism, SN2 reaction and mechanism. We will discuss in the coming class. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your love and support of these classes. Please supporting like this. It will give some energy to make some more videos. And please subscribe to my channel so that you'll get the notification of next video. Thank you so much, guys.